Hello everyone, and welcome to Slipjoint Sawyer. So the year's slowly coming to a close, and I thought I'd just do just a sort of brief overlook of some of the vintage or older knives I've picked up over the last sort of year, maybe the last sort of 6 months. I've amassed quite a large collection of older knives. This is just a small selection of them. I just thought we'd have a run through of these. Any of you in the UK know, or US, tomorrow is the UK Sharp Show. Very excited to go, meet loads of people. See a load of really cool knives. It's custom makers, older knives, Swiss Army knives, you name it, it's going to be there. So really looking forward to that. So I'm all packed, ready to go. We're just going to take a look at some knives today, really. So we'll start out with this one. This is a medium Stockman. Now this was made, I believe, by Camillis for Craftsman USA. With the model number there, 95234. It's a medium sized Stockman, great snap on it. I believe this is sort of rosewood covers on there, so you've got brass liners and bolsters, pins as well. It's one of the reasons I really love this one. Nice little bit of difference there, having a brass bolster as opposed to a nickel silver one. Stainless steel blade in fantastic condition. The snap is excellent. I can get that to focus, and then you have the spade blade on there as well. Medium Stockman is probably my favourite Stockman size, although I carry the old-timer 8OT, which is also down here somewhere, quite a lot. The medium one really sort of lends its sort of size to me better. It's that sort of 3.5-inch carry. It just fits really snugly in the hand, and it's sort of confidence in use, you know, holding a tool that you can really sort of, you know, use and manipulate perfectly without having to worry about it. But yeah, look at this one. The build quality is fantastic. Obviously you can see we've got carbon steel springs with the patina on there, but I believe these are stainless blades. This is not the normal sort of patina you would get from carbon steel on there. So that's the Craftsman Stockman from the US. And as we mentioned, the 8OT, we'll look at that one next. Now this is my sort of safe queen one. This is the new old stock. You see it literally has never been used. There's not a scratch on the blade at all. Factory edge and everything. Does need a little bit of a clean up. You can see it's been in storage for a little bit, and I've sort of not neglected it, I just haven't sort of taken it out. So little bit of natural patina building up there, but Delrin's immaculate, and I love the saw cut Delrin. It really adds a nice grip to the handles. And then the sheep's foot blade on this is what I love so much. Look at that. Nice flat grind, satin finish on the blade. Build quality is absolutely fabulous. I really hope that some of the US makers can start doing US made knives again. I know Bear & Sons and Case are still doing their US thing, but I really hope Oldtimer can maybe get a factory open again and start reproducing some of the older knives they did, you know, back in the 90s, 80s, 70s, etc., because they are absolutely fantastic. But that's an 8OT. One from British here. This is a British Army knife, clasp knife as you will, with the marlin spike on the back here. Nice bail, that sort of gun stock sort of checkering on the synthetic handles. And the snap on all these tools are fantastic. Obviously you get a bail, marlin spike, nice little sort of pry bar up here, and you can see these were made in the sort of wartime period, so they are made very sort of quickly, so there's no sort of fancy bolsters or anything. It's just sort of pinned together. Here's your tool, go and use it. But we have the can opener with the cap lifting. You can see this is from 1946. Nice spike on the old school can opener. And then you get a really nice sheep's foot blade on this as well. And of course this is carbon steel, so you can see there is some natural patina on there. I haven't sharpened this, I've left it. I'm obviously not going to be carrying this because of the history, but it is an IXL Wustenholme from Sheffield. Fantastic condition for the age of the knife. Part of my ever-growing Sheffield knife collection, and even more so my Wustenholme collection, so a massive fan of their sort of older work. But snap's good. The other thing I will say about if you're going to collect these or pick them up, the springs are known to snap very easily, so be careful with it. So mine's sort of going to be a safe queen. Another one from the US then. This is a Camillis made electrician's knife, so the TL29. Did put a lanyard on there with an old sort brass bullet casing. TL29, of course, famous being the electrician's knife. You get this electrician's tool with a flat screwdriver, and that, of course, is got the old style brass liner lock. And we also have really nice spear point blade there as well. You can see that has seen a bit of use. It's some scratched up, but I put a nice edge on it. I do carry this from time to time. It's a very useful blade. You can see we've got Camillis with a long line, New York and USA. And I believe this is stainless steel. I haven't seen any sort of patina on there. But build quality is really good. A little bit of gapping down the middle, but nothing major. Synthetic handles, nice bail. Really sort of nice size in the hand. I'd say it's probably about 3 3/4 inches. Nice sort of blade. Shame it's got the locking tool on it, but for me the blade doesn't lock, so I would say this is UK legal, but leave it to your own sort of definition. I'm not the law any means, and I'm not I don't know a lot about it, let's put it that way. So, but I would carry this without a problem. Action's great, snap's great, fantastic looking knife. One from Boker then. Still has the shield, which is quite unusual to see. Normally they fall out. This is a little tiny pen knife, little gentleman's knife with jigged bone. Got the worked liners there, brass liners. Coined, I believe they call that. Carbon steel back spring. This one's seen quite a lot of use, but still plenty of blade left on there. And this is a USA made Boker. I don't know if you can make that out there. Boker USA. Nice sort of spear point blade. Nice sharp, little bit of swedging at the end, long pull. See 1158 is the model number, and you can just see the chestnut tree, the Boker symbol on the back there. And you also get a nice little pen blade on there too. Nice little fifth pocket carry that, especially one nice little older jig bone. It's nice and smoothed over with carry, and it's sort of a deep brown colour. Love that one. One from Japan. I believe this is a tailor's. It's got this really wonderful sort of amber bone, like darker bits here throughout. I mean, look at the colour on the back of that. Build quality is phenomenal. Stainless steel. See, we've got Tailor Surgical Japan. And look at the clip on that. Really reminds me of a Camillis clip point, especially with the swedge just on one side. And I've not sharpened this. I believe it's the factory edge, and it's screaming sharp. Can't really see much use on the blade. Action's really good. Nice snap. Unusual sort of style sheep's foot blade there. More of a curve like you would get on a Warncliffe, but it's definitely sort of a sheep's foot. Nice edge on there as well. And then this one, of course, has spade blade too. Quite weak pull for a spade blade. I'd say it's probably about a 4, but it's not a tool I would use very often, or a blade I would use very often, so it doesn't really bother me. But as I've said multiple times before, with the smaller blades, I do prefer a bit of a lighter pull, so they're not so much of a nail breaker, seeing as the nail neck is most of the way back towards the pivot. But it does have a decent snap. That's one from Tailor's, brass liners. Believe it's all stainless construction, apart from the nickel silver bolsters and the brass pins. Really wonderful that. One of the ones I picked up in the last year as well, as long as most of these. Now this is an Uncle Henry. This is a USA made one. This is one I did a restoration on recently. It's one I didn't film. It was just sort of relaxation for me. So you've got the carbon steel springs. I didn't take too much of that patina off. I wanted to leave as much as possible. But the Staglon cleaned up really nicely. So you've got that Uncle Henry shield. Now the clip point has been used. You can see there's a little bit of whittling away. Goes up a bit here, but I put an edge on it. Screaming sharp. Plenty of blade to use. And you can see this is a Schrade Plus. Plus, of course, meaning that it's stainless steel. And this is the 285 UH, I believe that says. Now the spade blade actually had the tip snapped off, so I did sort of make it into a spear blade. That's the best I could sort of do with that. I'm not a professional, but it's got a razor sharp edge, and for me it makes it more of a usable tool than having a really long spade blade. It makes it a bit more enjoyable for me to use and carry. It's got relatively good action on it. Pulls maybe a little light. I'd say it's about a 5.5 to a 6. Clip points maybe a 6 at most. But something about that handle shape. I wish they would make more single bladed trappers like this, because I would carry them all the time. I think they look fantastic. But nice USA made Uncle Henry there. One at the top here is actually the only knife I have from this brand, and this is a Cupmaster by Utica. It's from New York, USA, and then there's something else at the bottom there. It looks like an M, maybe it's a date code down the bottom here, but I'm not too sure. All I've done with this is put a bit of an edge on it just so it's sharp, but you can tell definitely got a carbon steel blade with that patina on there. and it's a mean hawkbill, this thing. Synthetic handles made to look like wood, carbon steel and a bail. This thing would be perfect just for like a carpet cutter's knife, or maybe a rope knife, anything like that. Killer point on there. This thing has got a mean snap on it as well. See that fire forward? Now it does have a half stop, but the spring is so strong that it fires right past it. So I have to be careful with this thing, but mean action, as you can hear. Another one from the UK then. This is a tailor's Eyewitness with jigged sort of synthetic. Reminds me of sort of a copperhead pattern. You get the pen blade. You can see we've got the Eyewitness Sheffield, England. The only thing I'm saying it's not a copperhead, it obviously doesn't have that elongated bolster at the top here, but maybe it's more of a serpentine jack, I would say. And you get this really nice clip point blade. Tailor's Eyewitness, of course, use stainless steel. You can see that stamp on there a little bit better. Nice action on this one. Really like the grip these covers give you as well, with that jigging. Brass and stainless steel construction, excellent action as well. And this is one from Behr & Sons in the US. It is part of the, I forget what it is, the National Knife Collection Association. And this is genuine Stag, so it's numbered. I've got 707. And this is when Behr & Sons was still Behr MGC. And there is some sort of dots, I'm guessing is the date code. And this one, obviously it has 1993 on it. So I'm going to date the knife at 93. Wonderful knife. The only thing that lets it down is the clip point has a really weak pull and snap. I'd say it's about a 4 at max. But it's going to be a collection piece for me for this one. I mean, look at the Stag. Fit and finish is fantastic. Look at that. But the snap on the other blades is fine. I'd say this is about a 6. So I'm not entirely sure what happened with that main blade. Maybe it's been worn or it was just a weaker sort of spring. Will say though, Behr & Sons probably have the ugliest spay blade. It literally looks like a spoon. But there we go. But yeah, nice one there. Nice sort of unique knife from the National Knife Collection Association. This is the club knife from 93. Sorry, that was out of focus. Club knife from 93. USA, of course, with Behr & Sons. Nice sort of large style Stockman. I'll come down here again, go back to Japan. I mean, I believe this is bone. I could be wrong. It looks very much like bone. If I can get that to focus. Jigged stainless steel shield. Looks like stainless bolsters and then brass pins holding this together. Full stainless construction on the back and that wonderful jigging again. I always forget which one this one is. Oh yeah, this is the brand I was trying to look something up on. It's Wenoka Stainless, Japan. From what I could tell, it just looks like it was sort of like a hardware store, but I didn't do too much research into it before I had to move. I got this quite recently. But very nice clip point blade. It needs a bit of a sharpen and a bit of a clean up, which will be happening soon. Snap sort of barely there on this one, but it can get a bit of a snap out of it, but it definitely needs a clean to be oiled. But I reckon once it is oiled, it's going to have a killer snap back. Really nice sheepsfoot blade. And then the spay as well on the back. More of a pen, that one, I would say. Another great knife. This is one from Remington. And this is from the 30s, I believe, based on the Tang stamp. I can get that to show. Remington UMC, made in USA around the outside. And for the age of the knife, I'd say this is in pretty good condition. Really nice clip point blade. Nice nickel silver shield on that sort of celluloid covers. Brass liners, carbon steel, of course, being the age. And the pen blade's taken the brunt of the use. You can see it's nearly into a spear, basically a very small spear blade. Maybe you can see that tang a bit clearer there. But build quality, absolutely fantastic. Another Sheffield knife here. This is by far my favourite spear blade I have in my collection. This is a Rogers, and it's sort of a sabre ground, hollow grind spear, and I love that. I think it's absolutely wonderful. I wish more knives would do some more saber grinders into the hollow. It gets so thin behind the edge, but look at the blade stock, and it doesn't. And it only starts halfway down the blade, the grind. They've done that absolutely fabulously. But obviously, this is their sort of take on a Swiss Army knife. So you get the main blade. On the back, you get the saw, and then you also get the cap lifter and the can opener on this side. Roger's shield on there, really well made. I'm surprised how well it was made, but cannot get over that spear blade on there. Absolutely wonderful. See, we have Sheffield, England on the back there as well. I'll have to start speeding up. Sorry, this is going to be a long video. Nice little USA made buck. 305. I believe this is in like sort of the late 80s. Picked this up at Sharp Show last year. A nice little coping blade and a clip blade. They locks. Build quality is superb. Does have the least attractive buck shield though, which is, they did that for a little while, which I'm not sure why they went to that. It's a bit lame compared to the hammer and bolt, but that's what they went to. Imperial diamond edge being their sort of keystone brand in the 60s and 70s. Carbon steel, so you've got Imperial USA Rhode Island, Providence Rhode Island on there. Nice clip point and pen blade on there. And this is it the yeah, this is the clamshell style, so you can see that the bolsters are clipped over, and it'll just sort of slide at the bottom here and then clip over at the top. This is another Wolstenholme. This is one I picked up off Blade Bridge Customs recently. George Wolstenholme, Sheffield, England. Nice spear blade with a swedge. I believe this is jigged bone as well, or it could be honestly, it's so hard to tell with these older knives if it's synthetic and bone. With a nice shield on there as well. Pen blade, seen some use, but fantastic action still on this. Really great little knife. What have we got left? I think we just got the two left. So we have an Imperial. Again, this is another one from the Diamond Edge line. Stainless Imperial USA. You see the model number for this is 352, is etched on the blade there. Now this did have a snap tip, and I did sort of reprofile that myself. I think I did a pretty decent job on it. You can see it's got the nice sort of match strike nail neck, jig Delrin covers, and then we also have pen blade on there as well, saying stainless. Snaps really good. Build quality fantastic, as you'd expect. I'm looking to get some more of these with this jig Delrin. I think it looks absolutely wonderful. And then finally we have a Case Medium Stockman. I know this one's from 1971 because I've counted the dots. There is 9 of them down there. Case XX USA. Of course, there's going to be carbon steel for the date, and the snap for this from the 70s. Listen to that. Isn't that ridiculous for the age of the knife? All the blades are in really good shape. Whoever had this used it, but knew how to sharpen and really sort of cared for it. But build quality fantastic. This has been one I got a Sharp Show last year as well, and I carried it for a long time when I first got it. Not carried it for a while, but I think I may have to. I mean, look at the pocket worn on that sort of synthetic. Wonderful knife, and I believe there's actually one more I've forgotten, and how any vintage collection would be complete for me without showing off this. This is the Wolstenholme Electrician's knife. This sort of, I believe it's wooden covers. We have carbon steel springs and brass liners, nickel silver pins, nickel silver bolsters, the most amazing spear point blade. IXL, George Wolstenholme, Sheffield, England. You can see patinaed on that. I have been using this. It's one of my favourites to carry currently. And the thing about this I find so unique is the fact the electrician's tool actually has a file on it. I've not really seen that before apart from on these. Really nice aggressive file as well. Obviously you get oil the joints with a Wolstenholme. But there we go guys, that's sort of a brief overview of a couple of knives I've got in my vintage collection. I really hope you enjoyed this sort of video. Please be sure to like, subscribe and ring that bell for notifications, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out. Matt's got a channel, man sharp as a blade, Slipjoint Sawyer.